Walk through the bustling streets of London, Tokyo or New York and you'll see crowds everywhere. Packed subways, busy sidewalks, endless high-rises. It's easy to assume the world's population is booming, but this urban density hides a surprising truth. Beneath the surface, birth rates are falling dramatically across the globe. While cities swell with migrants and working adults, the sound of children in parks is fading and classrooms are seeing more empty desks. This isn't just a trend in wealthy nations, it's a global shift. The paradox of crowded cities and shrinking families is one of the defining challenges of our time. Societies that once equated growth with prosperity are now leading the demographic retreat. The silence in maternity wards is growing louder, signaling deep changes in our social and economic structures. The world isn't running out of people overnight, but our age structure is shifting fast. Today's bustling cities mask a shrinking generation that will one day support the rest. Understanding this quiet demographic revolution is the first step toward preparing for a very different future. The numbers are clear. Global birth rates are plummeting. In 1950, women worldwide had an average of 5 children each. Today, that number is just 2.3. More than half the world now lives in countries with fertility rates below the replacement level of 2.1. This isn't a future prediction, it's happening now. In 1950, no country had sub-replacement fertility. Today, it's the norm in Europe, the US, China, Japan, and much of Latin America. What once took centuries, the demographic transition from high to low fertility, now happens in decades. Even with population momentum, the engine of growth is sputtering. UN projections show the global fertility rate will soon dip below replacement and population will peak before century's end. Humanity is entering uncharted territory, a world of stagnating, then shrinking populations. For the first time, we must prepare for a future with fewer people, not more. The numbers don't lie. The tide is turning. The implications are vast, touching every aspect of society. We are witnessing a demographic transformation unlike any before. Let's look at 4 countries to see this trend up close. Japan's fertility rate hovers at 1.3, with rural schools closing and entire villages emptying out. South Korea's rate is even lower, just 0.72, despite billions spent on incentives. In the US, the rate has dropped to 1.6, driven by economic anxiety and changing social norms. The image of the large American family is fading, replaced by smaller households or child-free lifestyles. The UK, like much of Europe, sits at 1.5 and relies on immigration to offset low birth rates, sparking new debates. Across these nations, the native-born population isn't replacing itself. The demographic foundations are shifting, forcing a rethink of everything from pensions to infrastructure. This story is repeating across the developed world. Why are people having fewer children? Economic pressure is a major factor. Raising kids is expensive and many young adults feel they can't afford it. The dream of a single-income, large family is out of reach for most. Women's expanded opportunities in education and careers have changed the timing and calculus of childbearing. Many delay or forgo parenthood, especially where work and family policies lag behind social change. Cultural shifts matter too. Individualism and self-fulfillment are now central values, and the stigma around being childless has faded. Parenthood is increasingly a personal choice, not a social expectation. Modern contraception gives people control over if and when to have children, leading to smaller families. These economic, social, and technological changes have combined to reshape family life. The result: fewer children, later in life, or none at all. The reasons are complex, but the trend is unmistakable. Governments have tried to boost birth rates with cash bonuses, paid leave, and subsidized childcare. France and Sweden offer generous support, but their birth rates remain below replacement. South Korea has spent billions, yet its fertility rate keeps falling. These policies help parents, but don't change deep-seated cultural norms or personal aspirations. The decision to have children is intensely personal and shaped by more than money. Many countries are now shifting from trying to reverse the trend to adapting to it, rethinking pensions, investing in automation, and planning for an older society. The era of low fertility is here to stay, and adaptation is key. The most immediate effect of low fertility is an aging population. Fewer children mean a shrinking workforce and more retirees, straining pensions and healthcare. Societies may face tough choices, raising retirement ages, cutting benefits, or increasing taxes. Economically, fewer workers can mean stagnation, labor shortages, and less innovation. Cities and infrastructure built for growth may become oversized, with schools and hospitals closing as populations shrink. Some regions already manage decline, repurposing empty towns and buildings. Geopolitically, countries with shrinking, aging populations may lose influence, while younger nations gain ground. Military strength and global power could shift toward regions with growing youth populations. The world's balance of power may be fundamentally reordered. The challenges are real, but so are the opportunities for smart adaptation. Societies must plan now for a future that looks very different from the past. A smaller population isn't all bad news. Environmental pressures ease, less pollution, lower carbon emissions, and more room for nature to recover. With fewer children, families and societies can invest more in each child, improving education and health. Less competition for jobs and housing could mean higher living standards. Labor shortages may drive innovation in automation and AI, boosting productivity. Japan is already leading in robotics, showing how technology can offset demographic decline. A stable or shrinking population could even reduce resource conflicts and make cities more livable. The end of the population boom could mark the start of a more sustainable, prosperous era. Societies must adapt to demographic change with innovation and flexibility. Automation and AI are essential for maintaining productivity as workforces shrink. Industries from manufacturing to healthcare will rely on robotics and smart systems. Social structures must evolve. Lifelong learning, flexible careers, and phased retirement will become the norm. Immigration can help fill labor gaps, but must be managed alongside policies that support families and older workers. Success in the 21st century will be measured by sustainability and quality of life, not just growth. Investing in education, healthcare, and technology will be crucial. Societies that embrace change and question old assumptions will thrive. The demographic winter is a test of our ability to innovate and build a better future. The 21st century will be defined by our response to falling birth rates. This isn't a temporary blip, it's a lasting transformation. The challenges are complex, from economic strain to shifting global power. Simple policy fixes won't work. We need deep adaptation and forward-thinking solutions. Embracing innovation, building resilient social systems, and investing in people are essential. The future may be less crowded, but it can be more sustainable and prosperous. Our collective wisdom and adaptability will shape the world to come. The tide is turning. Let's steer it wisely for future generations.